Big day has finally arrived. You have to excuse the flicker on the video, it's just these fluoros in here and can't tune the GoPro out of it technically. But you have Woody, guards, these doors. Straight after work I had to just race around, running home, load him on the car trailer, getting him down here as fast as I could because we've been threatened with lots of storms and lots of heavy rain. So didn't want to muck around because if it started raining I couldn't get him down, and I was going to be pissed if I couldn't try and get him painted today. So we got him down here, the bonnet and the front headlight panel. I haven't got them down here yet, but as long as I can get these done fairly quick this morning, I'll probably go back and grab them today if the weather holds out, and we'll get them down here and get them painted too. But for now, we're just going to concentrate on getting the car, hopefully the guards and the doors all in the booth, and try and get it all painted at once. So we'll see how we go for room. If not, I might just be painting the doors, and the guards and the bonnet can be later on today. But I'm going to get him taped up and get him painted. Exciting and daunting. Got some hillbilly shit going on right now to get a non-running WB up that ramp and into that booth. Check that out. How's that for hillbilly engineering? Probably videotape this because it's probably going to be interesting. Let's have a little look at the paint job of the car body and the doors. I couldn't fit nothing else in. I just started untaping it, but I thought I'd let you join in with me. So, have to excuse the actual flickering. Now, got a little bit of drainage coming off these, where I went a bit heavy with a clear, but I'll block them out piss easy. But look, I've got a massive hanger just here. He'll actually come out pretty easy too, but that's all I've got. Actually, the rest of it's pretty damn nice. About to wheel it out with the daylight a bit better. And I was going heavy and I wasn't reducing the clear. I was actually just pumping it straight through pretty much. Very exciting. Doors look mint. Ooh, got a little bit of a hang where it's drained out. No, that's alright though. Not too much of a problem. She'll do it anyway. She's only going to go home and get a big wet sand to cut and polish. So she's pretty much what I want it to be. And it's mine, so I don't have to be silly pedantic about it. It just needs to be a neat driver really, so which is what it's going to be. So I'm pretty happy with that. So last ever paint job. So should be good. We'll keep untaping and get it out into the daylight. It always comes to life when you actually untape it, because it focuses on the paint so badly. Ooh, don't rub into it. When everything's red, as soon as you start to have accessories and see glass and bits and pieces, all of a sudden the focus comes off all those bits. Like that there, as soon as the glass pops out, even the wheels, that's when everything starts hitting you in the face. But no, fairly happy with that so far. We'll push her out in the sun and have a look. Hopefully it's alright. Morning people. This is like 5:30 in the morning. Back at a workshop on Saturday morning. This isn't alcohol. It's actually hot drinking this one this time. But we can't really take the camera into the spray booth to document anything like I did with the Bedford, because the camera flickering with the fluoros is just absolutely shit house, so I just didn't bother with it. But we've got it painted. We've got a little bit of solvent pop coming through the top coat of the clear. Now I'm not too stressed about that. I have a lot of clear on there and it's a high solid clear. So I'm just gonna probably long block with some wet and dry to actually file finish the clear a little bit. And the solvent pop only came through on the very last coat, so I'm sort of thinking it's probably just the top layer that we've got to sort out. So I'm not too stressed about it. I mean, honestly, even if it comes down, we just got to sand back with clear and then just flow coat it. We can do that. I think it might tidy up okay enough to be happy with. We won't know. I'll let it sit for about a week before I start doing anything with it. But as an example, I don't know if you can see any of that at all. It's hard to tell, very hard to see. Probably not picking it up too well. But it's all pretty good. Like I said, got that huge hanger down there of a lot of solvent pop. I honestly don't know what happened to that coat, because I thought I painted that side lighter than the other side, and the other side came out mint. But like I said, long block bat slowed down slowly, about a bit of a run in it. And like I said, there's a lot of clear on it to play with, so and that's why I do stack a lot of clears. I mean, technically when I got to the second last coat, I could have left it then. That's just my famous last words, technically. Always one more, and that's where the grief starts. But when I slowed down and actually took me time to apply the clear, then things come out looking a lot better. No solvent pop, pretty much how it should have been, really. There's part of me that's probably a little bit disappointed that I rushed so much getting that done for some reason. I mean, to get that to that point of all the coats and everything like that, that was still what, probably 6 hours worth of work, and I still had these bits to paint. Plus I've got a nose cone sitting in there now, but I've just got to paint as well. But yeah, it's one of those things. It's a bit disappointing, but the other part is too, I'm a wet sander and buffer. I don't really like off the gun finishes for my own stuff, so I sort of knew that whatever finish is, I'm only going to be sanding and polishing it anyway, so I like more of that glass look than the orange peel. So, but yeah, so we come down today mainly just to put the radiator support down with me, so we'll bolt that on the front, hang the guards on there with a few bolts, so we can transport it all home, and the bonnet will just chuck on the back of the ute. The nose cone will probably sit here overnight again and let it dry properly, and then we'll get it back home and put her in the shed and let it sit for a week or so, and then we'll get into trying to buff the body up and see what happens. So, but yeah, mixed feelings. Over want to paint anything, and I think that was coming out as to why I was rushing it. I just wanted it over and done with, and mixed feelings again with this is my last paint job and my personal pride and joy car, and I've done this to myself because I was so impatient and wasn't feeling it. Other part is I do think a wet sand and buff is probably going to fix it, so I'm not overly stressed. But then when you see the finish on the guards over there, you're just going, oh man, if you just slow down, you could add that finish all over and you would have created yourself this much more work. It's just cars, I guess. It's just all sorts of different feelings running through you all the time. So, but she'll be right. We shall mix up some paint, get that nose cone painted, and start bolting this thing together. Hey everyone. Alright, we've got Woody home. Apart from that, bit of a fuck up on the rear guard on the other side, I am generally stoked. Like to have me dream looking WB in this colour, sitting here at a point where like it doesn't take much to put it together and be able to drive it. It's actually pretty exciting. It is a full circle moment for me with life. Had a WB back in the 90s, which I pretty much painted 4 or 5 times, different engines, different gearboxes. Technically did an apprenticeship on it for myself, and while I was working in the electrical game, so taught myself a lot of painting skills and a lot of everything. So I couldn't do the Venetian red WB back in the day because a mate already had one. So I did everything else but that, but I always adored his and the way it looked. So now I've got my own, and I do love a particular this model of car. It's just been a bit rural and all that sort of thing back in the day. I was just a bit like the General Lee to us back then. I was the country hoon car sort of thing. So with the old thong slappers and everything and circle work and big 5-posters on them. So yeah, no, I'm pretty chuffed to have it sitting in the shed looking the way it does right now. Still got a lot more to go, of course, but that's part of building cars. So a bit emotional because it is probably the last paint job I'm doing, the last car I'm going to build, because I'm just done with it all. It's taken me like 32, 33 odd years to get to that point of constantly building other cars, painting other cars, mechanical work for myself and other people outside of working a normal job. It's just nearly working 2 jobs my whole life physically. So I'm sort of happy to now say, well, that's it, I'm done. I've just got to get this thing done, finish old Beefy behind us, and the shed becomes mine again. So tune in, follow along, and let's see this thing get finished. Thank you.